what I mean? Trust me, man.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your man H-Rap coming at you live and direct. It's the last show of the year. Hold my beer sports where sports fans come to grab themselves, grab a drink, talk a little ish, swap a little spit. I'm back. Gearing up for the new year. The end of the bench is in the building. Hold my beer sports is where we at. We're going to talk a little bit of everything this evening. Thank you guys for joining me in this chaotic situation. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, with that being said, I already know what to do in the bench media. I need you to go to YouTube and I need you to hit that subscribe button, like button, do everything you can to support the movement. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to even add a little twist for those people who want to talk a little trash with me. If you talk enough trash in the chat room, I'll put that link in there, and you can come on here. You can have me smack you around too. I'm back. It's B Stone. It's H-Rap. It's Stone. It's Italian Beef. It's The Bounce. Every name I've ever had, that's who I am today and forever. I'm talking trash. I'm talking trash to Anthony. I'm talking trash to CJ. I'm talking trash to Red Kid. I'm talking trash to everybody on earth. I'm back. I'm hurting feelings. Like you said, if you got the link, you saw it said, leave your feelings at the crib. It said, leave your feelings at the crib. If you didn't, you might get your feelings hurt because I'm coming at you harder than finding a job with babysitters and the benefits. That's how hard it is. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that share. It ain't going to hurt you. It ain't going to cost you. Do the thing. As y'all saw, we're going to talk a little NCAA. It's bowl week. It's championship week. We're gearing up for the Super Bowl. The end of the football season is ending. We're getting ready. The last of our little football dope, we got about a month. We literally got 2 months left on football, on this drug called football. We're going to enjoy every day of it. Talk a little National Football League. We're going to talk a little national championship. We're going to talk about this whack A NBA. I'm going to piss y'all off on the Hold My Best segment. Get ready, because I'm dissing one of y'all favorite players. I'm just going to use y'all matrix. The reason y'all be dissing this one dude, I'm going to diss this other dude. Stay tuned. Hit that like. Then we're going to talk about NCAA women. We're going to talk about NCAA men and how we can improve both. Well, the NCAA women, they don't fight. I keep telling y'all, keep it up. These dudes are not playing basketball. They're not hoopers. They're basketball players. It's a difference. It is a difference. A hooper is a dude that runs up and down the court and pretends to be somebody, and a basketball player is there. He can score 2 points. He can score 200. He a hooper. As we used to say, he a super duper fly hooper. Y'all can do all that old fancy through the back, up there, but nope, y'all not real. He's all right, but he's not real. That might even be a segment going forward. You all right, but you not real. That might be a segment. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about the league MVP. We're going to talk about the do's, the don'ts, the wills, the won'ts. And all I have to say is get ready for the show. And
Can you dig it?
I hope so. I hope you can dig it. Now, let's talk a little national championship bowl week. This is one of the most exciting weeks in college football. Not because these are the best games played, but there's a whole bunch of people that you never heard of playing. Teams, these dudes that you're going to be seeing, they used to play on Saturday. Some of them are going to play on Sunday next year. Everybody playing their hearts out. Some of these dudes are auditioning for the draft. Some of them are auditioning to play, get starting positions like LSU. The Heisman Trophy winner is not going to play. Kind of disappointing, but you know what? If I was Jaden Daniel and I was going into the pros next year, I would take one more game and ruin my possibly ruin my career. Every play means you could be out. Smart move. But what I want to talk about is this. It's a couple of games. First and foremost, let's talk about the runner-up game of the year. The University of Georgia, UGA, and Florida State. Everybody named mother and their uncle a month ago. Remember how you literally had the governor of the state of Florida about to waste taxpayer money to sue the NCAA for not letting Florida State in the tournament. He ain't got nothing else to do. You down there with stop and frisk. You down there with stand my ground. You got the LBGTQ, the Black History fights, and this jag leg is talking about a football tournament. Shout out to the voters in Florida. Y'all got it going on. Look who y'all voted. Y'all got Bush Jr. in there. But anyway, man, Florida State, Georgia, it's going to be an interesting situation simply because when you watch the Florida State, Georgia game, it's going to give me a whole nother week of conversation. I might start doing shows daily just so I don't miss out on anything because the Florida State, Georgia game is either going to shut everybody in the state of Florida up and then piss everybody in the state of Georgia off or vice versa. It's going to be interesting. I don't think the Florida State Seminoles have a snowball chance in fish reason. If you know me, you know I go way back with Florida State, Sammy Smith, Marvin Jones, Prime. See, y'all thought Prime was the only star down there. Ward Dunn, Charlie Ward, arguably the greatest college quarterback in the history of the game. At me, at HRAP_B, Twitter, Instagram. I'm back all over the places. I'm doing the things. But I'm just here to say it, man. Look, Florida State, they got reamed. But you know what? I'm a sports fan before I'm a fan of any team. I ain't gonna lie. My degree don't say Florida State University. My degree does not say that. Y'all know that. So even if it did, I don't play at Florida State. Even if I played at Florida State, I would understand. The dude who was up for the Heisman, he was in the Heisman conversation. He's gone. Take Cam Newton off the Auburn Tigers that year. Who gonna win? Take Charlie Ward off the Florida State Seminole. Who gonna win? Take Tim Tebow, but Cam was the backup, so Florida might still win. But y'all understand where I'm coming from. Take Reggie Bush away. Take all these guys, most of your Heisman hopefuls, Vince Young, so forth and so on, off the team, and that team is not going to be good anymore. Do you oh man, it's not fair to them. Well, you know what a fair is? A fair is where they put candy on apples and you get corn dogs and they judge pigs and horses and stuff. That's a fair. Ain't nothing fair about life. Was slavery fair? And I know I'm getting political, but ain't nothing fair. Is it fair that Bill Gates got hundreds of billions of dollars and I got a couple $1,000 for my name? Is that fair? No, it's not. It's not. So we're not gonna talk about fair. It's sports. It's entertainment. You don't want to watch Florida State without their best player play either. Take Jaden Daniels off LSU. We really don't want to watch, but we're gonna watch because they playing Wisconsin. Wisconsin might be able to put up a decent fight. Take the quarterback off Bama. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch none of these guys. So look, folks, here's the situation. We are going to enjoy that game. Hopefully, it'll be a damn good game. The Florida State, FSU, and hopefully it is a good game. But I think Florida State is going to get boat race. It's going to be a sad situation. I think UGA, they're going to be a little healthier. They're going to come into the stadium. They're going to look over across the field and see that they don't have their number one quarterback. Their offense is going to be trash, and all the coaches going to say,
sit your ass down. Sit your ass down.
Game over. That's it. Y'all don't want to see that. So all you people, oh man, see, you got to understand, rap. Those kids, man, ain't nobody care about them kids, man. Them kids get thousands of dollars in free education and being able to milk the system. They have that taking basket weaving and go get a degree in jumping jacks. And I ain't trying to hear that, man. Look, love the kids. No, they ain't my kids. They ain't my kids. So I don't love the kids. Get them kids, man. Like my man Dre said, F them kids, man. But on the real side, man, don't nobody care, man. I'm here to be entertained, man. Y'all heard Maximus Decimus Aurelius? Are you here to be entertained? Did that entertain you? Nah, that ain't gonna entertain me. Florida State getting boat raced by Georgia or any one of these 4 teams, they would not go get it. Look, I told you, ready to care. Here you go. Mr. Nice Guy. Florida State is motivated. If they play the great defense squad and run again, you know what I'm saying? This is winning combination. Man, UGA gonna slap those dudes around. That'll work. See, you a nice guy. Ray Kev is a nice guy. He around here driving that truck, jumping out of every stoplight, hugging old ladies. He a nice guy. Well, we're not doing that, man. You don't want to watch that. You wouldn't watch that game. I bet you he ain't gonna watch it. I bet you he not gonna watch it. Here you go again. Ray Kev being a nice guy. No, bro. Not deserved to be in the playoffs. I'm not saying that. Look, man, go on with that nice guy stuff, Ray Kev. But you keep it coming. You got the right to be a nice guy. You hug somebody, man. Go on, hug Janice for me, man. Hug your wife, man. That's what Ray Kev do. He's a nice guy. He's a reasonable fellow. But we ain't reasonable around these parts, man. Here we go again. No, bro, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm not saying, oh, that's the same thing. I'm retired, but I can't say that word no more. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I don't want to watch that game. I don't want to watch no if it rained outside and then University of Georgia whole team get the flu and then they coach get the sniffles and COVID come back. They might win. Man, they ain't winning nothing without that quarterback. They could barely beat Louisville. UGA gonna be motivated because they got left out to get down. Nice guys finished first. Yeah, they finished first. Just like the dude in second place is the first person to lose. That's all I'm saying. Ricky Bobby in the building. But on the serious side, man, we don't want to watch that, man. We sports fans. We like this. Ain't nobody going to get no chips and no beer, no pizza talking about, man, Florida State got a shot. Man, please. All you jokers was mad last year when TCU made the playoffs. Man, they weren't supposed to make it. And you see, they got beat down, man. You see what happened? And now y'all want Florida State to be in? Nah, man. Nah. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This how we doing it, man. Look, they suck. It was over for them bums. It's over, man. Enjoy this University of Michigan, Alabama. Enjoy this Washington and Texas. It's some good football coming, man. Look, why are we focusing on what could have been, what would have been, what should have been, what might have been? We are missing some real good stories, man. University of Alabama versus next year's champion. Next year's champion is Michigan. Alabama, they coach people saying he lost it. Alabama started off real shaky. Texas came through, busted them in the alley. Nick Saban walked around with a steak on his eye for about 6 weeks. Their offense was sputtering. Benched the quarterback mid-season. Everybody was like, yeah, see, y'all got a brother quarterback. And that's what they really were saying. Y'all got that black dude quarterback. See, Nick, you got too many black people quarterbacks on your team. You can't win. We know what y'all saying, white folks. We know what y'all saying. We saw through the smoke screen, but it's cool. Because my man Monroe was killing for the rest of the season. Nick got his fastball back. Jim Harbaugh, meanwhile, he over here Belichicking. That man over here Belichicking. So he's spying on folks. Everybody get fired. But look, I got a question. Is Jim Harbaugh the reason they winning? Because let's be honest. It's 12 games in the season. Jim Harbaugh missed 6 of them. That team went undefeated without their coach for 6 games. Is it Jim Harbaugh? Or are they really cheating? I'm just saying. I ain't saying, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? It's funny that everybody is a little rated Kev. I agree. Now, Miss Hale. Oh my God. Just because she's the queen, she thinks she owns some. Alabama cornerback can be dominant. I got Alabama winning the game. Miss Hale said, I agree, Raider Kev. Can't argue with Miss Hale. Throw your hands up. But on the serious side, that should be an interesting game because we got a coach on the come up, a coach who has literally, we ain't saying it, the mainstream media not talking about it, but Jim Harbaugh has choked every year he was in the playoffs. Remember, first few years he was there, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't beat Ohio State. The last 3 years, they choked in the playoffs. That's a great story. Nick Saban, has he lost his fastball? Has he lost his ability? Even though they had the number 2 recruiting class, shout out to Alabama. Crimson Tide had the number 2 recruiting class in the NCAA on signing week last week. Nobody's talking about that. But this should be an awesome game. On the other hand, you got the University of Washington within the transfer portal. They got a quarterback who was number 2 on the Heisman hunt. You got Steve Sarkisian at the University of Texas. He then went through getting the USC job, stinking it up, getting the Washington job, drinking it up, had to go into rehab, then went on down here to the Atlanta Falcons, got them to the Super Bowl. Then he left. He was assistant offensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan left. He stunk it up in Atlanta. They said, hey, come on back to Alabama. They win a national championship. They offered him a couple of jobs. He stayed. And then he finally went on over to Texas. He got a black wife. Got a roof for, the way when racism set up. I got to do it that way. That's how I get down. So, I got a root somewhat, but you got my man in Washington, the black quarterback. So it's dual racism going there. I'm siding with the brothers and I'm siding with the dude who married to the sister. You know what I'm saying? But it should be a very interesting situation. Don't cry about UGA. They ain't get in. You got to the final, you got to the last game of the season. All of a sudden, you couldn't breathe. I won't hear about no, my quarterback was hurt. Look, y'all got Joe Average at quarterback. Y'all won back to back. Shout out to Cool Sale. Keep him away from sharp objects because Cool Sale is still on suicide watch because I know he mad. He mad. He gonna stay mad. But look, it's championship week. We're gonna enjoy this football. That's it. That's all. Don't worry about Florida State. Don't worry about UGA. Enjoy what you have. Everybody want to talk about what could have been. We're going to talk about what's going to be. It's going to be some very good games. In 2 weeks, we're going to get the national championship game. Monday, we're going to see the semifinals, and it's going down. That's just it. Get over it. You'll be okay. Is it who y'all got? People in the chat room, who y'all got? Do you have UGA? Do you have Alabama beat Michigan? Michigan beat Alabama? We already know what the nice guy got. We know what the nice guy and this hell got. We know who they have. But who you got against Texas and University of Washington? Michael Penix Jr. went through the transfer portal, went up to Washington. Look, it's going to be a very interesting situation, and we're going to keep watching. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about next is NCAA hoops. I am an avid NCAA hoops fan. I used to pay attention like nobody's business, but now I just watch because just in case something big happen, I need to be able to talk about it. This is some of the boringest men basketball with some of the no-namiest people you've ever seen in your life. It's a three-point contest. It looks like a video game being played. The same issues that I have with the NBA, I have with NCAA. Look, there's one way to fix this. Remove this foolish rule about you have to go to school for 1 year. If you're a smart NCAA coach, you start recruiting second-tier players. Look, I've been saying this for a couple years now. If you recruit second-tier players, you'll get them to stay there a minimum of 2 to 3 years. You get them to stay there a minimum of 2 to 3 years. I will take a very talented junior or senior over an uber-talented freshman every time. You have more strength. You have more game. You're more equipped to operate it within a system. You operate within a system will be the team. An individual cannot win in the NCAA. An individual can't win in any sport unless it's golf or tennis or boxing or MMA or something like that. Otherwise, you are going to have to deal with teams. The NCAA men's situation is horrible because for 1,000 years, these universities have built these young men out of millions, maybe even billions of dollars. The number one watch game in the history of college basketball is still Bird versus Magic 1979 NCAA championship game. It's still the most watched basketball game ever. The reason we used to really love NCAA basketball, men's basketball, is because we got to know Grant Hill as a freshman slam dunker on Larry Johnson at UNLV. We got to see Christian Laettner that same year. He stumped the dude. He stumped Walter McCarthy in the chest. Everybody hated him. You got to see Bobby Hurley mature. You got to see Kenny Anderson shake up Bobby Hurley a couple of years later. You saw Shaq for 3 years. You saw Danny and the Mannings. Remember that 1988? Nobody paying attention. Everybody thought it was just going to be another year. The Kansas stunk it up. They won. We fell in love with these people. The reason Grant Hill was one of the top vote getters when he got to the NBA because we watched Grant Hill for 4 years at Duke and do his thing. I'm not saying that the big-time ball players don't need to be recruited, but there has to be another way around this. Now, if you're a big-time ball player, I don't know what to tell you because how can I tell? How can someone with anything that resembles a good sense tell somebody to turn down $20, $30, $40 million? No, man, don't take that money. Stay in school. Get you some connections just in case. Well, you know what? I'm going to get this $25 million. And just in case I blow out my knee, I ain't going to spend all of it. How about that? That's what we need to be telling these young men. At the end of the day, it's a rare situation when these young men get hurt. But in order for the NCAA to get anything that resembles bite back, you're going to have to get some guys who are going to stay at the school. You're going to have to build up. Or how about this, universities? When you're at USC, University of Spoiled Children, y'all know where all the rich kids go, USC, UCLA, billions of dollars. You got the University of Michigan with a $15 billion endowment. How about y'all just start paying the kids? If you really want somebody to stay, now that you can slide the kids some money, put that man, I'm the number one recruit out of the state of Michigan. Put that man mama in a nice crib, get that dude a grip, and then Nah, stay. Otherwise, look, it's going to continue to be boring because, for one, they've lost total control of basketball situation. They've lost total control of the basketball situation. And I think it's purpose because they're consistently recruiting outside of the country. Who are the biggest names in the National Basketball Association? Luka Doncic, Joker. Let me see. Luka Doncic, Joker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Murray, and a host of other people who were not born in the United States of America. They're trying to make this a global game. But as you make it a global game, you will forget these young, underserved kids who have been duped into playing AAU-style basketball, running up and down the court looking like a video game. That's not fun. That's why the All-Star game sucks. And as long as you do that, it's over. My man said high school players are going overseas, overtime sports, G League, affiliates, etc. It's about getting the bag and exposure nowadays. Social media works. That's what man CJ. If y'all see my man CJ, you see his name on the screen, want y'all to do is subscribe to his page. The man is mad funny. He's mad entertaining. He's serious about his Cowboys. Do that. That's why I named it How About the Cowboys, because I know all the Cowboy haters going to come and watch the show because y'all thought I was going to talk about the Cowboys. I'm not going to talk about the Cowboys today. I like that. Y'all don't. Tricked you again. And by the time I say that, I get credit for the whole view. Shout out to H-Rap. He beat the system again. Couple more dollars. But like I said, man, they're going to have to figure it out. It looks as if the women have figured it out. Look, these guys don't play basketball anymore. They have fallen into this trick of the national Steph Curry changed the game. Steph Curry ain't changed the game. See, this lets me know you guys don't watch sports. Y'all just watch ESPN, and then y'all look at the stats, and you say, he good, because that man on TV said he good. No, the stats don't mean you good. Anybody, look, if you are in big-time basketball, meaning Division I basketball or NBA, you can score 20 points. That's 5 points a quarter. That's 2 shots and maybe even get a foul or a free throw. 2 shots and get fouled. That's 5 points a quarter. If you can't do that, you wouldn't be in the NBA. But they got you doing different things. Joel Embiid, that's right. Thank you, CJ. Joel Embiid is another player that's from overseas. He's from Africa originally. Then he moved to Jamaica. Now he's in America. He's an American citizen. And I'm going to piss off a lot of people. And he married a white lady. But damn, I had nothing to do with sports. But I just want to throw that in. Look, controversy. Y'all know. Fight the power. But anyway, look. Stop. Look. This Steph Curry has changed the game thing is a farce. Y'all can believe that if y'all want to. All I would ask you to do is just research Rick Pitino. I'm going to say Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino changed basketball. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, he was coaching at the University of Providence. Rick Pitino was shooting nothing but threes. One of the rules that Rick Pitino had, if you would have to do laps if you shot a shot one step inside the three-point line. If you shot a long jump, it had to be a 3 or a mid-range jump. He didn't mind you taking a mid-range jumper, but if you were a foot within the three-point line, you got penalized. He was all about the fast break style. Everybody said, that's stupid. It's not going to work. Fast forward, he goes to the Knicks. He go to UMass. No. Calipari went to UMass. He went from Providence to the Knicks, back to university, to the Celtics, back to the University of Kentucky, and they played the exact same way. I'm not saying that Steph Curry is not an outstanding ball player. Unlike most of y'all, I watched him in college. I watched him dominate at Davidson. I watched him get to the Elite 8 at Davidson, and he was totally unstoppable. He was a little skinny guy, and they told him, you'll never make it a 2-guard in the NBA. The NBA has adjusted the rules. So a guy like Steph Curry, his stature can look and be effective, but this does not make him an elite game-changing situation. Again, they tricked you into thinking without thinking. And how do you think without think, H-Rap? It's easy. It is the basis of capitalism. They got you believing you thinking, but you're really not thinking. It's like when they tell you, it's your choice. I'll buy you dinner. It's your choice. McDonald's or Burger King. You really thought, you thinking, I'm going to pick Burger King. You didn't really think of Burger King. I told you were going to eat Burger King or McDonald's. And you said, I chose Burger King. He bought me what I wanted. Nah, you didn't. You didn't think. And if you'd have thought, you said, I don't want either one of them. Take me to Chipotle. I don't want to go to either one. Take me to Applebee's. Take me to Ruth Chris. Or take me to the Cheesecake Factory. A lot of y'all won't go there. But anyway, Like I was saying, it is the bait and switch. And if you doubt Steph Curry is great, they've tricked Charlie into saying anybody who doubt what group thinks says you're a hater. No, I'm not a hater. I just watch basketball. I used to be immersed in sports. I used to bet on sports. I used to bet my homies. I used to read Sports Illustrated all the time. I used to eat every month, every day. I went and got a newspaper, read it from front to back. I read all the news and then I back page and I read the sports. My bad. But look, he ain't changed the game. Rick Pitino changed the game. He's a great ball player. He's an immense ball player. He's unstoppable, but he didn't change the game. I'm sorry, he didn't. I saw Cotton Fitzsimmons do it to the Phoenix Suns. I saw, and you had Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson and what's the white boy name? What's the white boy name? He played with Utah for a little while. Can't think he actually from Chicago. Whatever, Jeff Hornacek. I saw them play the same way. They just didn't have an unbelievable shooter. I saw Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, big white boy who dunked on Mark Jackson, Tom Chambers. I saw them play like that. I've seen dozens of teams. We saw the Knicks play like that. Then we saw later on, we saw Mike D'Antoni play like that. We've seen this before. We just never seen a guy with his shooting prowess. So he didn't change the game. He just came in and did something that everybody do it. I don't know about that age range since the Warriors started playing balling like that and they start shooting them threes. Everyone is shooting. Just because everybody just stopped. Look, is everybody winning? Is everybody hitting those threes like that? Hey, tell you what, CJ, me and you can go out there and shoot a bunch of threes. The rest of the league is missing. He just happened to be the dude that's hitting. Look, remember, the Phoenix Suns was playing just like this with Steve Nash. He's playing like this back-to-back years. Steve Nash won that the MVP, and everybody's still mad about it. Oh, Kobe should have won. Shaq should have won. Okay, well, let's get over it. Kobe has gone, and Shaq ain't playing no more. I'm gonna need y'all to get over that. Steph Curry is definitely the engine. Yes, he's the engine. I don't want to take away from our good brother Steph Curry and his prowess. The man is amazing, but he did not change the game. The rules have changed to accommodate what our good brother does. All that means is Steph showed up, showed out, and then the whole league is copycat. Did Kurt Warner change football? Because remember, this is the same thing when it's the greatest show on turf, CJ, and everybody who listens. This is the same thing. Everybody, the greatest show on turf. You know why you couldn't replicate that? Because everybody can't do what Marshall Faulk did. Everybody can't get a Isaiah King. Everybody can't get a Torrey Hope and Isaac Bruce. Everybody don't have a Kurt Warner. That's the difference. You can try a lot of things. You can try to be the 85 Bears. You can try to be the 86 Giants. You can try to be the 2000 Ravens. You can try to be the 2002 Baltimore Ravens. 2005 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could try to be that. You could try to get the greatest defense in the world. But if you ain't got Ray Lewis, you ain't got Warren Sapp, you ain't got Derrick Brooks, you ain't got Dent and McMichael and that crew, you ain't got Lawrence Taylor, it's not gonna work. Steph Curry has made something that was tried time and time again work. That's all it is. Another question by my homie CJ. What NBA player do you think besides Jordan changed the game of basketball? Jordan didn't even change the game of basketball, to be honest with you, CJ. Jordan elevated what the doctor did. Before Jordan, the doctor had won league MVP twice in the ABA. He was flying through there, slamming on everybody. He was dominating the teams by himself. They went and got Moses Malone, and then they won a championship. Not to take anything, Michael Jordan changed marketing. Michael Jordan is the eye of a perfect storm, CJ. You know what I mean by that, bro? Michael Jordan is the eye of a perfect storm simply because before Michael Jordan, only thing you had was sport news and you had Sports Illustrated. Next thing you know, cable TV is in everybody's house. Now you got when I'm old enough to remember this, CJ, I'm old enough to remember you can only see the Bulls on Tuesday and then you had a game on Saturday. And then you hope that the Bulls or somebody plays Sunday. No, it's the only three games. You saw 2 Bulls games, and then you saw the CBS game on Sunday. That's all we saw, CJ. You saw your local TV, and then you saw the game on Saturday. Well, it was usually the Celtics and the Lakers and the Sixers, and somebody else. The Celtics played somebody, the Lakers played somebody, and that's it. Period. That's all we saw. So Michael Jordan was an phenomenon. He was a phenomenal player. He was an enigma. We had never seen anybody as graceful as him every night. But Dr. J was doing that same thing, man. Dr. J was doing that same thing. See, the thing is, CJ, I'm glad a young guy like you was on the show tonight so I can expound on my feelings on this. Look, explain to me how you got David Thompson scoring 69 without a three-point shot, mind you. You got George Gervin scoring 72 without a three-point shot, mind you. And both of those guys are career over 50% shooters, but Steph Curry changed the game. And then you had hand checking, you had more physical game. It was a different situation. So what we have to do is look at evolution. Evolution of the game it's a reason that they don't let guys your age. My good brother CJ, 26 years old. Shout out to my young brother. Again, support his page. Good brother, man. He's doing good things. Why don't they ever talk about the older cats, CJ? Because they're trying to get you to focus on now. But what they don't realize is you, a sports fan like yourself, will be even more engaged if they allow you to do the research so you can have a conversation about the game, not about he won this many championships, he won this many championships. Watch this. I know of a guy who scored after he scored like 4,000 less points than Michael Jordan. He got just as many All-Stars. He got just as many All NBAs. He was all defense. One of the greatest six-mans in history of the world. He got more championships than Michael Jordan. Why don't know everybody ever talk about him? And guess what? He's the #1 leading scorer on one of the greatest teams in the history of the game. His name is John Havlicek. But you don't know about him. Nobody talks about those old guys. Rick Barry, all-star in the ABA, all-star in the NBA. You think only Dr. J did that. No, David Thompson, Dr. J, Moses Malone, they all did. Artis Gilmore. But you don't know about that. You don't know about those guys. They only want you to worry about the here and now. It's partially a social construct. It's partially a social construct because if you start looking in the past about sports, you might start to look in the past about life. And if you start looking about past about life, you say, wait a minute, I'm paying more attention to sports than I am my life. And then I become a scientific socialist and I take over the universe. Thank you, Alfred. Yeah, Alfred worked on the sports show too. James Worthy? Nah, because James Worthy was just another super duper fly hooper, man. James Worthy was just a big-time ball player. James Worthy was cold. And I don't want to take anything away. Michael Jordan set the world on fire. But imagine this, CJ. Just take this into consideration. You got this dude, Dr. J, with no ESPN, with no ESPN in the magazine, with 2 Sporting News, Sports Illustrated, and very little television exposure. Delayed time games, and most of his games, they don't even have video of it. But you 26 years old, which means Dr. J retired 10 years before you were born. Dr. J retired probably before your parents even met. But you know who Dr. J is. On the other hand, you got Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Insane. The man was amazing. But he was doing the same thing Dr. J did. Dr. J carried 2 leagues. He carried the ABA. He carried the NBA. He is the most famous guy in both leagues. Or one, he's the most famous guy in the ABA. He's one of the most famous guys in the NBA. And he's gone from the NBA as an active player for 35 years. Get that. 36 years. 36 years he's been gone, and we still know. You know who Dr. J is. So how is it Michael Jordan is the only one to do this? They tell you Michael Jordan is the only one that have his own signature shoe. Lies. Clyde Frazier had Pumas. Kareem had Adidas. James Worthy, aforementioned James Worthy, had New Balance. Magic Bird, Bernard King, Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman. They had the weapons. People had their own thing. It's just the internet and cable TV and his awesome ability took it to the next level. It's evolution. Dr. J took it from Connie Hawkins and that crew and Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor was a Skywalker. Look up, do yourself a favor, CJ. Look up Elgin Baylor. Look up Elgin Baylor's statistics first. And then look him up. Like they give Ginobili credit for Grant Hill. Exactly. They give Ginobili credit for the Euro step. Look up Elgin Baylor. In the 50s and the 60s, this man was Euro stepping. But they Ginobili is a Euro step. It need to be the Elgin Baylor step, but don't nobody talk about it. See, that's why you come here, CJ. I'm gonna give you the game. And then when you talk to your homie, you ain't gonna say my man H-Rap said, just like, look here. You're right. Well, Will Chamberlain, exactly, my brother. We are not, that's why I say, man, grab your beer, get your snacks, get you a cigar, pull up your chair, grab yourself, and we're going to talk this sports. Man, we're not going to talk highlights, man. We're not going to do that. Steph Curry is an awesome ball player. I'm not going to deny that, but it's evolution. Shaq is bigger and faster and stronger. Wilt was bigger and faster and stronger. Kareem was finesse, but he was athletic for us. That everything gets better with time. You got Hakeem Olajuwon, athletically one of the most fundamentally sound ball players. Then you got the big fundamental. He just wasn't athletic like Kareem. Everything evolves, man. That's why Steph Curry did not change the game of basketball. He just he hit it with the Machiavelli, man. He exposed the weakness in the game. They don't play. They not assigned to play defense. They got more talent. They can dribble better. But how many of these guys, all these 20-point scores and shooting from the cheap seats, they shooting from out of town. I mean, I hit it from half court. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a stupid shot. What good basketball is a game of giants, and if I am the taller I am, the easier it is for me to score. So why would I shoot further away from the rim? No, that makes no sense. Even if I can shoot 40 feet away from the rim, the difference is 20 years ago, 30 years, 1990, 3 years after you won. I mean, 7 years before you were born. Guy by the name of Gary Payton. A couple of years later, you got a guy by the name of Jason Kidd, and then you already have Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland, this, that, and the third. When those guys were in the league, you could be a little more physical. You can get a little physical. And guess what physicality brings to the games? Fatigue, attrition. When you have attrition, you get tired. People think your form is what hits a jump shot. No, it's your legs. Just like in pitching, your legs get tired, your fastball slow down. Your legs get tired, your jumper get weaker. So what happens if Steph Curry has to stick a Mark Jackson who's going to back you down all night? What do you got to do with Gary Payton when he's going to bump you all night? What you got to do when you have to deal with Jason Kidd with all that speed and that size? He's not going his legs are not going to be as strong, and then he's going to be missing those 40-foot shots, and then they're going to turn into fast break dunks. That's why it used to be you can't win by the three. You win by the three, you lose by the three. Unless you have three of the best shooters in the history of the game, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. That's how you win with the jumper. Hey, check the history. Check the history again. Reggie Miller. We love Reggie Miller. He used to have some awesome game sixes. Game 7, the legs get tired. It's over. It's about attrition. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Steph Curry ain't changed nothing. Steph Curry's just cold. In the conversation, since I'm on this, we're going to slap Shaquille O'Neal around. Shaquille O'Neal was hating, y'all. For anybody who, man, Shaq might be right. He might be better than Magic. Boy, you outside your mother freaking mind. Again, this is not to take anything away from y'all Steph, but Magic Johnson, hey, CJ, you asked who changed the game? Irvin Magic Johnson changed the game. He is LeBron's height. He has quickness of a little man. He got handle of a smaller man. He got unbelievable sight. He came in as a shooting guard, switched over to point guard, could have played power forward, small forward, even played center for a little while. In this NBA at 6'9", he might be playing center. So no, we'll never. There's very few people in this league that we can see another Michael Jordan because we saw a facsimile of him in Kobe. We saw another facsimile of him in Vince Carter. So you can become a Michael Jordan type. You can get that thing and become a Michael Jordan type. But we'll never see another Magic Johnson. We'll never see another Charles Barkley. You'll never see another dude 6'4" tall, dominate the backboards inside, outside, off the dribble with that type of power and bounce. You will never see another guy who could be. We almost seen him in Ben Simmons. We'll never see another Magic Johnson, but we can see another Mike. We might look. LeBron James is a facsimile of Magic Johnson. That's another dude. But LeBron James didn't have. I love LeBron James, but I don't think he had it in here what Magic had it here. Magic Johnson has something different. See, that's the thing. People think athleticism. People think all the points. People think all the spectacular plays. No, the special players, they have it in here. And personally, this is just my personal opinion. I don't have any scientific evidence to prove what I'm about to say, but I truly believe this. The reason Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Tim Duncan and Allen Iverson and a couple other people, even to some degree Kobe Bryant, they had it. Well, I'm going to X Kobe out. The reason they had it immediately is because they lost before. Losing builds up a callus upon your skin, and you feel bad about losing. So you go, oh man, I lost. I know I have to work on something. Kobe developed it early because remember, second year, Kobe shooting air balls against Karl Malone and that crew. The whole world was hating on him. So he built up that callus. I know I have to get better. LeBron James is the first guy we ever seen outside of Moses Malone, the first guy we ever seen come in the door and have instant success. He had instant success. He was unstoppable. So that callus of losing never built up. That forcing you to get better never happened until he went to Miami and choked it out. He choked out, and then that's what built up that callus. Tim Duncan spent 4 years in school, getting beat. Michael Jordan, people don't understand. Do you understand Michael Jordan last game of his career? He got D'd up by Dan Dockich. He had the worst game of his life, and then went to the free throw line to ice the joint and miss the free throws. That's what that is the kind of thing that drives you. LeBron James choked it. We love LeBron. LeBron, the man, the heels. He down there with the not 3, not 4, and he went down there and choked, and he ain't been back since. He been LeBron since. Losing makes a difference. It makes a difference. And when you don't ever lose, you come in a thing like Kobe and LeBron, two of the greatest players we've ever seen, and they get instant success because I'm in the league. I'm in the All-Star game. I'm Kobe Bryant. I'm off the bench starting in the All-Star game. They love him. You know, I'm just like Michael. He talking like Mike. He walking like Mike. And he having conversations with Mike. And he's doing his thing. And then he choked. And the world said, you suck. And Kobe said, never again. LeBron, the world said, you suck. And that losing. And that's what's missing in the NBA now. You go to school for 1 year. You dominate. You didn't go to school thinking you were going to win in the NCAA tournament anyway. And then you come to the league and then you lost. So that's what I think is wrong with basketball. That's why the women's game, because these women out there balling and they losing and they winning, and they girl in Iowa, Katie, whatever her name is, she out there talking and saying you too little, and that's the game. The men's game, they don't have that anymore. You getting choked out and looking at the ref. It's a dude choking you, and you turn to the ref. Try choking Rasheed Wallace. I ain't even talking about the alleged tough guys. Try choking Rasheed Wallace and watch what happens. Ain't nobody choking Michael Cage. Well, no, Dale Dallas saw Xavier McDaniel, friend of the show. He was on this very program. He was talking about the day that he came to the gym with him and Dale Ellis, his teammate, had an argument the day before. He got his son in his arm, and Dale Dallas clocked him. That's what it used to be. And I'm not saying, hey, man, the game ain't right unless they fight. No, I'm not saying that. But you need some fodder, and it has nothing to do with friendship. Magic Johnson and Isaiah was friends for years. Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing are friends. Charles Oakley's a friend. You don't think these guys are friends? You are outside your freaking mind. Bruh, Isaiah Thomas and Dominique Wilkins and Magic Johnson used to barnstorm in the sun, and Mark White used to barnstorm in the summer, meaning go play games in different courts in different parts of the country. These guys have been friends. You look, how can you not be friends with a group of men that these are the only people in the world that know exactly what you're going through? You're going to be friends with somebody. Yeah, a lot of y'all played college together. Y'all done played the summer leagues together. Y'all done played ABC camps together. I'm not saying they're going to be like Wade and that crew, but a lot of those dudes are doing that. I'm old enough to remember Michael Jordan got in trouble for going to Atlantic City with Patrick Ewing in the middle of a series with Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley. I remember that. So don't tell me these guys ain't friends. It ain't soft now. It's just these guys, they have it all and they didn't work for it. I ain't talking about no money. I'm talking about they got the fame, they got the luxury, and now nobody has ever told them you should be the best at this. Nobody can. You should go out there and destroy every time you play. They ain't been told that. They just out there. I made it. Yeah, Caitlin Clark. Shout out to man CJ. Angel Reese. Hey, it's this young backup point guard at South Carolina State. That sister, dang, she like a woman. Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd type. She got G. But these dudes, think about it. I challenge anybody. Name me 6 guys in the league that undoubtedly you can, when you watch them play, you go, oh no, he want to be the best in the game. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do it. You got the kid in Sacramento, the point guard in Sacramento, DeAndre Fox. You got the point guard in New York. You got Ja Morant, and I'm talking about American-born players. And there's a couple other of these guys. I don't care about you scoring 30. You know what? I was gonna say this at the end of the show, but I'm doing it right now. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is overrated. Why am I calling Kevin H-Rap? Come on, man. The man won league MVP. Oh, come on, H-Rap. He done won 2 championships with Golden State back to back. How he overrated? He scored well. Question. Explain to me how the whole world tells me that LeBron James ain't ish. He overrated. He a punk. Anthony Edwards. Thank you. That's the other. I could not think his name. Anthony Edwards is another one of them dudes. But think about it, CJ. I noticed that you ain't put 5 guys up there. You ain't put 4 other people up there, or 3 other people. Anthony Edwards. I gave you 3. That would have been number 4. What are the other 2? You don't see them. Under 30, they're hardly there. You don't have to beat Jordan. But guess what? Rolando Blackman was a beast. Joe Dumas, Jeff Malone, Dale Ellis, John Starks, Mark Price, Ron Harper. They wasn't Jordan. But you know, back when I was younger, you knew those guys. George Gervin wasn't Magic Johnson and Dr. J, but he was the Iceman. Where are those guys at? Where are those mid-level guys? Exactly. I don't even know. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's because these guys are not playing to be the best. It's not about your friend. CJ, you're the perfect person to have in this chat room because you're a younger brother. Do you play video games? If you do, is it anybody you want to beat more than your brothers or your cousins or your homies? No, because you could talk trash to them. You got easy access at your friends. So if I hit Allen Iverson for 30 and I'm Stephon Marbury, I'm calling them tonight. Hey, yo, Bubba Chuck, I got you. You don't think Steve Smith said Michael Jordan hit the floor one day, took a shot and said 38. He said next time he hit, he said 36. He said he got to 34 and he realized this dude counting down from 40 and they partners and they talking trash on the floor. Where's that intensity at? It ain't about Mamba mentality. I ain't nobody's friend. Man, I want to be your friend. But guess what? You got to be outside your mind if you don't think Carmelo Anthony took it at LeBron James' neck every game. Carmelo Anthony had to be saying, you my boy, you my brother, you was the best man in my wedding, but you stole that MVP from me. I was MVP that year. You don't think they having that conversation? Because that's the dictionary definition of competition. Competition is none these days. Nobody wants to be the man. And back to Kevin Durant being overrated, he does not. Tatum is a dog. He is, but okay. Mike Williams, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that share, man. Tatum is a dog. But can anybody honestly say that Jason Tatum, you can deconstruct the team and say, put Jason Tatum on it, and they're going to be contenders? I ain't say win no championship because winning the championship is not a measure of how great you are. Because Dominique Wilkins outplayed Larry Bird. Game 7, 1986. conference semifinals. He scored 42. Bird scored 28 or 32. He had just as many rebounds as Bird. Bird had more assists. But guess what? Bird had Mikal Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, and he had Doc Rivers and Spud Webb. So guess what? He lost. So championships don't make the man. That thing in your chest make you the man. Jalen Brunson, that's the dude I was talking about. Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, Edwards. I even go with Tatum. But I just don't like, to me, the reason I take Tatum out of this, because statistically, you can look at Tatum and say, he the man, he the man, he the man. But how is it that you lose to Steph Curry and his crew from the jump shot situation? At some point, look, if Kobe missed 17 shots, number 18, he trying to dunk on you. If LeBron missed 17 shots, number 18, he trying to dunk on you. I have personally seen Michael Jordan against the Miami Heat miss his first 16 shots. And guess what happened? He started taking to the hole, mid-range. I don't see that in these guys. It's just, I'm going to keep shooting this jumper until it come on. Drive to the hole, make something happen. That's that thing. That's that thing. That's the difference to me. Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway was playing right now. He would literally all but be walking on water. He would destroy these guys. See, I ain't got to go to the Michael Jordans and all these. Catch like Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, they would destroy this league right now. I don't see people with that super dog in them. A lot of dudes are good. A lot of dudes put up numbers. Bam. No. I don't mean, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying win the championship, Mike. All I'm saying is do what Jimmy Butler's doing. How many of these guys under 30 can do what Jimmy Butler did? That's all I'm asking. You got to remember, youngest Tatum he's been to the finals. He's been to the championship 5 times. He fell short. I'm not okay. I will. You know what? I'll concede Tatum. But again, y'all not put like 8, 9, 12 names in there. Tatum, Kid Brunson, Edwards, Fox, Morant. You can't even put an all-star team together with guys who you can say, I build my team around him from America. Now you got Luka, you got the Joker, and a couple other guys. But I'm not talking about these dudes who putting up numbers. I'll concede Tatum. Not a problem. But I'm just trying to understand about your man Durant, though. How is it he's still at the top of his powers and his team is 500 and they getting beat every night? When LeBron James is that age, his teams would dominate. When Michael Jordan was that age, his teams was dominating. When Kobe Bryant was in full health, he was dominating. Kevin Durant is just putting up numbers. That's what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, haters and bitter friends. I'm not talking about no numbers. I'm talking about what are you doing when your team ain't dominating and you are that good? Give me another example of a guy being that good at the top of his superpowers, because his age ain't kicked in yet, and he ain't out here killing. When Kawhi Leonard was at the top of his powers, he was taking teams to the conference finals and getting teams in the NBA finals. Before the leg broke of Paul George, he was taking teams to the conference finals, losing to LeBron. I'm just saying, man. Homeboy, he's unstoppable. But is he scoring impactful buckets? Anybody can score. Again, this is the NBA. Anybody can score. But when are you going to dominate, sir? That's all I'm asking. That's y'all, man. I need y'all to hold him to the same standard as y'all hold one LeBron James. LeBron James is the only dude in the history of sports. He's the only dude I've ever seen to get destroyed for making the NBA Finals. If you take away the name LeBron James, pick your favorite team, say they drafted him in June, and you put him on your team and say, hey, that guy that you picked, the French dude, Victor, I don't even want to butcher his name. Put French Victor on any team in the league. If you told somebody Victor gonna play 15, we ain't gonna give him 20. Victor gonna play 15 years in the league. He gonna make it to 8 NBA finals. He's gonna win 2 league MVPs. He's gonna win 3 NBA championships. And when he retires, he's gonna have more assists than Magic Johnson and more points than Kareem. And you will be like, well, he's gonna be one of the greatest players in the world. But you know what people say about LeBron? Oh, he didn't do this. He ain't this. Again, let's work on evolution. Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sweet Pea, Pernell Sweet Pea, Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Tank. Evolution. Evolution. Nobody is the last person, but everybody is great. When you talking about that level of guy, they all great. But the difference is, you notice I didn't name people like the dude who was just Deontay Wilder, because he getting popped by nobodies. He getting popped by bumps. But again, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes, Ken Norton Sr., Joe Frazier, great. A lot of these kids, these guys today, they getting big piles of money, but they not saying I want to be the best. The difference in Tank and a lot of these guys who boxing now, Tank saying I want to be the best. Ain't nobody dealing with me. Can you say a lot of these NBA guys are saying, can't nobody deal with me? I don't think so. I don't think any, if any, not many. Like I said, I ain't dissing nobody. Yes, I am. I am dissing them because they need to go see the Wizard. They should have had Santa Claus bring them some hard last week. Santa should have came down the chimney and handed most of these guys in the NBA some hard. Because I'm giving you another example, and then I'm gonna move on. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about the NBA. You got to get me on so we can talk. Okay, hey man, next week. You good. Done. Flea gonna change boxing forever. Nah, he just was smart. See, okay, we said this and then I'm gonna go back to that. Floyd Mayweather, you have to remember, this is what people don't realize. This is the difference in watching the highlights and actually paying attention to the sport. When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, CJ, he was knocking people clean out the, he was tapping them up, laying them down. He started breaking his hands. His hands got brittle. So he just started using his head. He started using his defense and outpointing people because he knew he had superior defense and he knew he could outbox most people. He's a savant. He's been boxing since he was 6 years old. He understood pugilism, looking up in the dictionary, to hit to punch without being hit as many times as possible. That is the dictionary definition of what he's doing, pugilism. So he didn't change. But see, that's what they want you to look, CJ. YouTube is your friend. You a dude who has a sports show. YouTube is your friend. Start looking into these guys. Look up Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Look up Sugar Ray Leonard. Look up Marvelous Marvin Hag. Look up Thomas Hearn. Look up Hands of Stone. Look up Alexis Arguello. Look up these dudes and you will be like, oh. And I'm not saying any of them are better than Floyd, but I'm just saying when you start seeing some of those dudes, you'll be like, oh, they lying on TV. But again, if you start looking in the past, you'll look at other things, and that's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna get into the political thing, but when you look at your past, look, I'm gonna say this and I'm gone. Your past will tell you why you are where you are and tell you how to get to tomorrow. Period. That's it. But again, man, all I'm saying about these NBA players, this is what I'm talking about. Michael Cooper, 1978, he drafted, year before Magic Johnson. He was a three-point shooter and a defender. By the time he retired, he could play shooting guard, he could play point guard, he could play small forward. He was handling the ball. When Magic Johnson took a blow, Michael Cooper was out there running that fast break. Not as efficiently as Magic Johnson, but they didn't really miss a beat. Vinnie Johnson was an unstoppable scorer when he got in the league. He became a combo guard. Allen Iverson couldn't really shoot. By the time he left, he could shoot. Michael Jordan couldn't really shoot and go left. You heard Kenny Smith say it. You heard Isaiah Thomas say it. He couldn't really go left. His handle was shaky. By the time he left, he could handle with the best of them. Scottie Pippen didn't have no jumper when he came into the league. When he got to the league, he had that Dr. J 16, 18-foot bank shot. He had the three. He got better every time. James Worthy couldn't really handle the ball. He retired, really couldn't handle the ball, but he handled it a whole lot better. His jumper he had the little bank shot. He got better. Everybody gets better. What does Klay Thompson got better at? What is Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson came in the league, a spot-up shooter, rarely handles the ball. He's still a spot-up shooter, right? Rarely handles the ball. Draymond Green couldn't shoot a lick when he got to the league. Now he can shoot a little bit better than a lick. I ain't saying Draymond Green is no shooter, but he got better. Which one of these guys is getting better? Even y'all man Tatum. I'm gonna stand down on Tatum. He got game. Tatum, I'm gonna need him to get into the paint a little more because he's big enough. He needs to body up on people. He needs to get on some big dog Robinson, fade away, mid-range joints. But he's gotten better. Brown couldn't shoot a lick when he got to the league. He got better. Most of these guys are exactly who they were the draft night. And that's the problem. That's why the NBA ain't fun no more. National Basketball Association. Stop pulling out these gimmicks and these mid-season tournaments, which was cool. I'm going to leave that. But stop looking for gimmicks. And here's another one. NBA. If you really want to make it fun, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. National Basketball League. Do the world versus America. That's the all-star team. All the Euro players versus the American players. Make it a pride thing. We'll all tune in. And then guess what? If the American team loses, a bunch of guys like CJ and others, people CJAs and other people that are young, they'll get on them Twitters, they'll get on their Instagram, and they'll wear them dudes out, and that pride to come back, and you're going to have to get better. And guess what? It's going to be a more entertaining game. I'm going to give y'all that one. I got a couple more ideas. David Stern, Adam Silver, Mr. Burns' little brother. I'm going to need you to at me at HRAP_B on Twitter. I got a couple more ideas, but I'm going to charge for those. Now, I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. We finna do this NFL thing, and then I got to go. I got stuff to do. I got sleep to get. That's all I'm going to say. Now, as I say every week, man, I need y'all to hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, tell a friend to share. It don't cost you nothing. Go to YouTube and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. Go to www.endofthebench.com. Subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. Let's do this. Let's do this National Football League situation. News this week in NFL. We had my man Dakota Rain Prescott. Everybody hate the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the football version of the New York Yankees. DJ Mukadeen in the building. It's always good to see you. Good to see you, my good brother. Dallas Cowboys played the Miami Dolphins. Look, all the Cowboy haters in the world, look, I don't hate the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, they are the teams that we need to aspire to be. If you don't understand what I'm saying, it's this. How many of y'all go buy beer to watch football? How many of y'all go buy wings to watch football? How many of y'all get T-shirts and jerseys? How many of y'all got all that stuff just to watch? A bunch of y'all. The vast majority of y'all got that. You gonna get drinks, you gonna get chips, you gonna get wings, you gonna get pizza, you got your jersey on, you sitting there, you fired up, you sweating like you about to play. You can't even jump rope no more. You 3 days older than baseball. You ain't playing nothing, but you loving this game. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, they are investing in you. Even though they may making way more money than they investing, but they are investing in you. They are making your time. Look, everybody, the Cowboys ain't won in 25 years. Well, guess what? I live in Chicago. The last time the Bears ain't made the Super Bowl in 20 years. They ain't won a Super Bowl since 1985. So being a Bear fan, boy, stop. It's like having I can't say a word. It's having a Riri as a son. You gotta love him, but he's a Riri. You're 30% Riri. Boy, knock it off. So, but guess what? The Dallas Cowboys and the Yankees and the Dodgers, they keep getting big-time players. Everybody in the world needs to be a Yankee fan, a Cowboy fan, or a Dodger fan. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself. So the people who hate the Cowboys, I understand if you were in the NFC East and you wanted the Giants or you wanted the Washington Commanders or you're an Eagle fan, you got the right to hate them. Because I don't like Green Bay. I'm with it. I ain't even a Bear fan hardly that much, that a little bit. I live in Chicago, so you got to like the Bears, but I ain't no Bear fan. But look at it this way. Name a Bear quarterback that's worth anything in your life. I give you until the next I give you 52 weeks to come up with them, and you still not gonna come up with it. Next year, last show, you can tell me if you came up with that deal. If this the best quarterback they ever had right now. Statistically, Jay Cutler is the greatest Bear quarterback in the history of the franchise. That lets you know what it is. The Bears have not drafted a first round outside of Justin Field have not drafted a first round skill player that was worth anything since Neil Anderson. That's the dude that they drafted to replace Walter Payton. But I bet you can't say that about the Cowboys. The Cowboys that had Murray, the Cowboys that had Elliott, they got Pollard now. They had Emmitt Smith, they had Tony Dorsett, they had Dak, they had Romo, they had Troy, they had Roger Staubach, and we can go through the myriad of receivers. You got tons. Look, the Yankees that had Derek Jeter, Reggie Jackson, Dave Winfield, so forth. The Dodgers had the same type of situation. So when those teams come to town, yeah, that's why people hate them. I can't stand Jerry Jones. Wish he owned the Bears. Hey, you know what? Sit them up here, and y'all would probably assassinate. In Texas, they probably assassinate the people that own the Bears team. But anyway, Dak Prescott playing against Tua, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm not butchering nobody's last name. Tua versus Dak. Dallas Cowboys versus the Miami Dolphins. This was a game. This is one of those games that everybody kept saying these two teams have not beat the other big team. Now, a lot of people say Tua, he won the game and he stayed in the MVP contest. Dak lost the game, so he's out of the MVP conversation. Nope, because Dak walked that team down 17 plays, 80 yards. 17 plays, 80 yards. If they defense show up, it's a game-winning situation. Tua did the same thing in the other direction. So, in my opinion, they both stay in the conversation. A lot of people are playing this game, and people don't want to say it. People want to pretend, and they don't act like they, oh, well, I don't know what they're talking about. You know, they just talking sports. They're not talking sports. Look, you're rooting for your team. And what I mean by your team, you're either your heavily melanated team or your lightly melanated team. Point blank, period. I understand the situation. Look, y'all want to play these games and talk this nonsense. Nope, I'm not going. Dak and Tua are still in the conversation. Here go my MVP people. And then later on that evening, later on the next day, you had my man Lamar Jackson play against Brock Purdy. Another Super Bowl matchup, two of the best teams in the league record-wise, the two best teams in the league record-wise, two of the more talented teams in the league, and you had Lamar Jackson show up and show out. You had Brock Purdy stink all to be darned. Let's just put it. Look, but I'm not going to say Brock Purdy ain't good. Brock Purdy's a good ball player. Is he playing MVP football? Yes. Are you dumb enough to believe, the only reason Brock Purdy is doing that is because he got all that talent around him? Really? 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 Carson Palmer had the same type of talent around him, and he stunk. He had Ocho Cinco, he had Usman Zada, he had Chris Henry, he had Corey Dillon, 10,000-yard rush. How many playoff games did the Bengals win? You had the Red Rifle with the same talent around him. Nothing. So it's a little more than I got a lot of talent around me, because if it's just the amount of talent around you, Jason Garrett, who was in Detroit, who took a team to the Super Bowl and stunk it up all to be damned. He didn't do anything in the Super Bowl because he's not good. Brock Purdy is better than Jimmy G. I'm not saying Jimmy G good. Jimmy G ain't worth 1,000 cookies on the NFL level. He out here dating porn stars and strippers and being on TMZ. That's cool. But when it comes to throwing the football and staying healthy, he ain't worth 1,000 cookies. Period. Brock Purdy is doing his thing. So to downgrade him to upgrade somebody else is foolish. He stunk. And guess what? If the coach, Kyle Shanahan, was paying any attention, that team moved a lot better with the other quarterback because you had to respect his arm. But Sam Darnold is clearly colorblind because he be throwing open them linebackers and he be hitting wide open DBs. The safety be wide open. He hit right in his numbers. Boy, he got perfect timing with the DBs, and so he stinks too. So Brock Purdy is their best option. He's a solid NFL quarterback. Is he an all-time great? No. So don't tell y'all love Steve Young. And last time I checked, Steve Young played with Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, Jerry Rice. What's my man's name on the other side? John Taylor. He played with them. He played with add T.O. to that mess. He played with them. Ricky Waters, T.O., Barnum, William Floyd. He played with them. Ain't nobody saying Steve Young is only good. Well, I'm the only one who really say that. But I'm in the minority. So get a man his P's. But at the end of the day, the MVP, if it's up to me, the 3 finalists for the MVP this season, the winner, if the season ended today, would be Lamar Jackson. The next guy would be McCaffrey. The next guy would be Hill. And the next guy would be Tua. Tyreek Hill and Tua, they're going to cancel each other out because they're on the same team. Tua is slightly in front of Tyreek Hill. The reason I put Tua in front of Tyreek Hill is 2 weeks ago, Tyreek didn't play and Tua put up 30 like it was nothing. So that puts him slightly in front of Hill. But Hill, Tua, McCaffrey, Jackson, period. That's it. Now, let's talk about the NFL. The NFL is turning into an all-time joke. Sean Payton is diminishing Bill Belichick's abilities. They are benching Russell Wilson and acting as if Russell Wilson is the problem. First and foremost, it takes about a year and a half to get acclimated with any coach in the world because he has to see you, he has to understand your tendencies, and then he calls the game in accordance to your tendencies. This is the difference in a great coach and a good coach. A good coach will get you in some plays. A good coach or an average coach or below average coach will do what the best coach is doing, do what Sean Payton is doing, because Sean Payton is showing me that he's not a great coach. He's not acclimating to Russell Wilson's skill set. And when you don't do that, you have a sputtering up and down play. But he's taken away from the genius of Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick slowed down John Elway in the Super Bowl. He slowed down Joe Montana multiple times. He slowed down Jim Kelly and that K-Gun offense in the Super Bowl. He slowed down the greatest show on turf. Oh, man, they was cheating. Everybody in football is cheating, people. Don't let the TV tell you no other lies. Everybody in football is cheating. If you look, I am from an era that we were taught, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So everybody's cheating. But Bill Belichick is a defensive genius. And when you lose to the New England Patriots, the question isn't what did Russ do? It's what did your defense not do? Did Russ have a great game? No, he did. How many teams don't have great games against my man Belichick? This is a joke. Y'all trying to diminish this guy's career. Tell you what, fool around and let Russ end up in New England, and I guarantee you Bill Belichick is in a different situation. Bill Belichick understands Sean Payton's mind better than most because he helped develop Sean Payton. See, that's what nobody's taking. Oh, man, Russell didn't do this and Russell didn't do that. Bill Belichick helped coach up Sean Payton. He was one of the coaching people. He was one of the veteran people on the coaching staff when Sean Payton was a rook. So he knows how that man's mind works. He knows, just like when John Gruden went down to Tampa and played the Raiders in the Super Bowl. He understood all their players and he understood all their plays. So it's the easiest game he ever coached against. That's just what happened with Bill Belichick. Understand that. It's not that Russ is a bum. Sean Payton is not coaching up to his ability, or he's not. Again, great coaches coach players. Good coaches coach systems. Bad coaches do what they want to do, not what the players are capable of doing. And that's what Sean is doing. Now, let's talk about these games this week. The games this week are the biggest games of the year, the Browns and the Jets. Why would the Browns, who are on a roll, be a good game against the lowly Jets? Because if the Browns fool around and start clicking offensively, Amari Cooper is out there killing. They got the running back killing. The defense is insane. If Joe Flacco don't blow the game, if he Brock Purdy's, the Cleveland Browns could quite possibly be playing. It could literally be a Browns versus Browns in AFC Championship game. It could be Browns versus Browns. If y'all don't know, the Ravens used to be the Browns. They used to be the Cleveland Browns. They moved to Baltimore, changed their name to the mayor at the time. There's a brother, he sued the Ravens for the name Cleveland. They had to change their name to the Ravens. So it's the Browns versus the Browns. I am predicting that is a great possibility. The next team that I want to look at the Bills versus the Patriots. Again, this is the great mind of Bill Belichick. If he can get he can get those quarterbacks to play efficient football, he can get everybody on tune. Guess what? The Bills could be out the whole picture. The next team I want to talk about is the Lions versus the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott showed the world back-to-back weeks in big games I can show up. He has shown 6 of the last 7 weeks in big games I will show and prove what I'm good at. The one game against the Bills, the entire Dallas Cowboy team got pumped out. They got pumped. Period. That's it. That's all. It ain't nothing else to talk about. Sometimes you get pumped out. And a lot of times when you get pumped out like that, you dig deep. Dallas Cowboys understand what they need to do. They need to focus on dominating the run. Dan Campbell has a physical team in Detroit, but they have a weak link. His name is Jared Goff. If my man 11 from heaven heats up, the Dallas Cowboys will smoke these dudes. That's my prediction. Dan Campbell is a great coach. He's not the coach of the year. The coach of the year is my man down in Texas. But the defense, if Micah Parsons if he gets the opportunity to pin his ears back, Detroit will lose by 20. That's my prediction. Point blank, period, end of story. And the other team is the Ravens versus the Fans. This, in my personal opinion, is the league MVP game. The winner of this game, the guy who shows up and shows out in this game, will be league MVP. Tua versus Jackson. That's it. The 49ers playing Washington and the Eagles playing the Cardinals. They've been scheduled 2 homecoming games at the end of the season. Those 2 games don't count. Another game I want y'all to pay attention to is the Chiefs. If the Chiefs don't come out here and dominate, Patrick Mahomes, boy, it's a wrap for you, homeboy. It's a wrap. And most important, I want to talk about 2 brothers that I'm digging at the coaching position. Coach T, Mike Tomlin. He had those dudes in line, ready to go. All this, Mike Tomlin need to be replaced. They not listening to him. They not into it. Look, those dudes, the football locker room is a sacred place. I've been in them. It's a sacred place. That's where dudes become dudes. You know, either you one of the guys or you get punked out. Mike Williams knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's this dude. I'm gonna say his first part of his name, Sugar. Mike know what I'm talking about. We ostracized them one year. We won the championship the next year. It is what it is. When you in the football situation and you dig the coach, you step up and show out. Period. Mike Tomlin is a respected coach. Now all that they're falling on deaf ears. That is not real. If you ask me, that's not real. Yes, when you take chances on dudes who have the reputation of low character, you run the risk of that. It's frustrating to have a guy with that type of talent that Pickens has, and they're not utilizing him. But Pickens need to be professional enough to understand if you don't get your act together over the next 3 weeks and all next season, you ain't gonna get no money, homie. And the other dude is Antonio Pierce for the Raiders. Anybody who know me know I used to be a gigantic Raider supporter. I am still a Raider fan. I might be all in with the Raiders. Point blank period. Antonio Pierce has injected something into that locker room. The team is playing better. He's playing the good old-fashioned football. He's playing that punch you in the mouth football. Antonio Pierce is making the Raiders again. And I salute to him and Coach T in Pittsburgh. Anybody who got something to say about Mike T or Antonio Pierce, all I need to say to you is...
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
Now, before I go, I need to attack the city of Chicago and my Bears. The conversation over the last few weeks is it time to get rid of the young man, Justin Fields? The Chicago Bears have a reckless reputation of hiring coaches with zero experience. They have piss poor offensive coordinators. The defense has gotten a lot better since they picked up a man out of D.C. He's been a demon. Cut Jackson. This dude named Jackson, number 5 for the defense. He a safety. That boy's toast. He ain't worth 1,000 cookies. Get him out of Chicago. They need to be telling the coach and him, you go, he drives. Both of y'all need to get up. They need to get them an Uber. Both of those dudes need to be out here. But at the end of the day, I understand Caleb Williams looks like he has that it factor. He definitely looks like he's that guy. But I believe Justin Fields is that guy as well. If you coach, as I stated a few minutes ago, when you coach a player's abilities, you win. Jared Goff is being coached to his ability. We thought he was worth 1,000 cookies. He turns out he worth 250 cookies. But we didn't think he was nothing. But Dan Campbell starting to coach his type of game. We thought Matthew Stafford was just a dude putting up numbers. He go out there to LA. He's getting coached properly. We were afraid that 201 gonna make it. He down there with Daniels. He's getting coached properly. Geno Smith is getting coached properly. Look, what they need to do is look at the game plan from a man, Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. Look at the game plan from a man, Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and inculcate both of those situations and let Justin Fields be Justin Fields. I'm not gonna make this a total racial thing, but I am gonna make it a racial thing. You cannot coach Randall Cunningham, Steve McNair, and Michael Vick the way you coach Troy Aikman, Dan Fouts, and Tom Brady. I'm sorry, you cannot coach them the same. Why do you think Troy Aikman went to the University of Oklahoma, realized he couldn't run their wishbone, and then he went out to UCLA? Because I cannot be coached in this type of environment. That's not advantageous to me. So with that being said, Justin Fields I'm going to tell you this. The National Football League has opened up the offensive game to the point whereas offense is king. They are trying to score as many points as humanly possible. And if you're trying to score as many points as humanly possible, and you have an offense, you have the run RPOs, run pass option. You're running option plays now. You're doing all this stuff that they're bringing from college. How about this? Go get one of the most innovative minds in college football who, for whatever reason, college coaches understand how to coach the RG3s of the world, the Justin Fields of the world, the Jalen Hurts of the world, the Michael Vicks of the world. Bring that dude to Chicago. Make him the offensive coordinator so he can cater an offense in accordance to what Justin does. Keep more, get Marvin Harrison Jr., get you some offensive linemen, trade down, get about 3 picks, get you some offensive linemen, get you some hog body so they can start plowing down the field, get you some defenders in the rest of the draft, and the Chicago Bears can win that division next year. Otherwise, if you are going to get Caleb Williams, I'm going to need you guys to throw away the whole team and get all new players, and that's it. That's all. Brock Purdy for MVP. Big Mo, he must be out there using that white powder. Boy, he out there using them drugs, because if he think Brock Purdy MVP, all I got to say to Big Mo,
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
But back to what I'm saying. Justin Fields, if the Bears hit the reset button, y'all better get rid of everybody on the offensive side. Get rid of the head coach. He's a Riri anyway. They need to get rid of the head coach anyway and start from scratch. Get you an offensive coordinator who understands how to coach a guy on the level of a Justin Fields. Stop trying to coach him like you would coach a said Brock Purdy or a said Tom Brady or Baker, a faker will fail. Get you somebody who understands the nuances of athletic quarterbacks, and then you will win. With that being said, 2 fingers, 1 word. It's your man, A-Trap. I see y'all Tuesday for the first show of the year. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Christmas, and all the other stuff. I'm out.
Jesus. I mean, trust me, man.